Hi everyone and welcome to today's session. Today's session is called Zoom 101, Mastering the Essentials. My name is Sarah Patterson and I work in the Department of Technology Enhanced Learning here in MTU. So to start, I'm just going to go over the agenda for today. So today I'm going to show you how to install and log into Zoom. I'm going to show you how to set up your audio and video. I'll show you how to schedule a Zoom session. So you can either schedule a Zoom session in Canvas. So it's usually if you're doing online classes with a module. So you can set it up in Canvas and you can also join, and so can your students. Or you can set up a Zoom session outside of Canvas. So you generally use this if you're having a meeting with someone outside of Canvas. So maybe you want to have a meeting with one of your colleagues, or you're having an event or something, you'd schedule a Zoom session outside of Canvas. I'll show you how to allow participants entry into a Zoom call. I'll show you how to use Zoom chat. I'll show you how to share a screen, and then finally I'll show you how to record a Zoom session. So if you have any questions during this session, feel free to just add them in the chat or the Q&A tab on this Zoom session, and I'll get back to you at the end. I might answer your question as I'm going through the presentation. Also, just to note, because we are actually using Zoom to deliver this training, it's hard to show you how to use Zoom while actually using Zoom. So I've pre-recorded the bits of training in here, and you'll see as I go through them, I'll be playing videos. But if you have any questions, I can show you things and I can explain things as well on top of that. So we will make a start, and I'll get to the first video, which is installing and logging into Zoom.
To install Zoom, you need to search for the company portal on your PC. Then when you open the company portal, you just search for Zoom. Then when you go into Zoom, just click install and it will install on your machine. You can also update it from here too.
And just to note on that updating, you might not get a notification that your Zoom needs to be updated. So I just recommend maybe once a month going into the company portal. And if the install button is white, that means you can probably install an update. So just click install and it'll install an update on your Zoom. So I'll move on to the next video now, which is logging in via the desktop client.
For MTU staff to log into Zoom via the Zoom desktop client, you don't add your email here. You actually log in via SSO, because all MTU staff log into Zoom and into other products like Outlook via single sign-on. So you click this key here, and then it'll open up in your browser. As you might have seen on my screen, it asked for a company domain, and I've logged in before, so it took it from me. But if you're asked, you just put in TELCIT and then click continue. Then it opens up on a browser, and you just need to either put in your MSN number at mtu.ie or click if it's already there, and then click sign in. And you're going to authenticate like you would for Outlook or other products. So I'm going to do that on my phone now. Put in 79. And now I've authenticated. It's going to load up. And then I click Open Zoom Meetings. And this is now logged in.
Okay, so that's how you log into Zoom with the desktop client. I'll move on to the next thing now, which is how to set up audio in Zoom. To set up your audio while using Zoom, you can go to the audio icon here. The first thing to note is when there's a red line going through the audio icon, that means that you are muted, so nobody will hear you when you speak. So when you click on that icon, then you're unmuted, so they should be able to hear you if your sound is set up properly. Then to set up your sound, just press the up icon here, and then you can select your microphone. So you might have multiple ways that your audio can be picked up. You might have a headset on, or you might have a microphone inbuilt into your PC. So you can select your microphone from the ones here.
And similarly, you can select your speaker. So wherever you want your sound to come out of, you might have an external speakers, or you might want it to come out of your headset or just the PC itself. So I'm just going to select same as system for that. And then you want to test it to make sure everything's set up properly. And it's ideal to do this before you have people come into your call. So I'm going to click test speaker and microphone. So it says, do you hear a ringtone? So if you're able to hear the ringtone and it's coming from where you want it to come, then you can just click yes and you're happy with that. If you're not happy with it, you can try different speakers. Similarly, you can test out if the microphone is correct. So the selected microphone I have is called Rode Podcaster. And you can hear there it was playing back for me, and that means that it's the correct one too. So I'll just click yes. And then I just click end test, and I'm happy with my audio there.
Okay, so now I've shown you how to set up audio. I'll show you how you can set up your video.
To turn on video, you click the video icon and you'll see I appear there. You can also select what camera you're using if you have multiple cameras. There could be one attached and then one in your laptop. You can also blur your background if you want to. And you can also adjust what backgrounds you have. So there are some MTU backgrounds that you can use. And to go into other settings, just click video settings from here. You'll see there's some other settings. You can select the camera there. You can also mirror your video if you want to, just for low light. You can touch up your appearance if you want to. And then the other settings are there too if you want to try those out.
Okay, I'll move on to the next thing, which is scheduling a Zoom meeting in Canvas. To schedule a Zoom meeting in Canvas, you open the module that you're having the Zoom meeting or Zoom class on, and then you simply just click the Zoom tab here. Take a second to load, and then you can click schedule a new meeting here. So you can just leave it as the name of your module if you want, or you can edit that and give it a description if you want to, and then you can set the times. So if you have a regular class that's every Thursday at 2 p.m., for example, you can make this a recurring meeting so you don't have to set it up every single time. Or if it's a one-off class at a certain time, then you don't need to do the recurring. But I'm going to set it up as recurring just to show you. So let's say I have a class every Monday at 11 a.m. So I'll leave it at 11 a.m. and it's 2 hours long. So I'm just going to change that to 2 hours, make sure it's in the right time zone, and I'm going to say it's recurring. So I'll click recurring, and it's going to recur every week. So I'll click weekly, once a week, every Monday. And you can either set an end date or after set a number of occurrences. So I'm going to select after, and I'll say I have 12 occurrences. And then if I ever have a guest speaker on, I want to make sure that they're able to join the meeting. So at the moment it's set to only MTU Quark students or staff. So your students will be able to join this meeting without any problems. But if you wanted to have someone that was external to MTU to be able to join the meeting, or maybe at the start of the semester, some students aren't registered fully with MTU and you want them to be able to access the meeting, then you need to go and click on this and select all authenticated users instead of the only MTU Quark students or staff. All authenticated users means that the person who's joining the meeting does still need to have a Zoom account. And the reason for this is it's a security issue so that they're still logged with an email address that they've logged into Zoom with. So if you have students that haven't yet got fully registered with MTU, you just need to tell them that they do need to create a Zoom account just with their personal email to be able to join the meeting. Same thing with an external person. They do need to have a Zoom account, any kind of Zoom account, to be able to join the meeting under all authenticated users. Any other settings that are important here? You can set the meeting to record automatically. So if I click this and whenever I start that meeting, it'll record automatically so I don't have to remember it. One thing to note here though is it will record as soon as you start the meeting. So maybe if you start the meeting early and you're having a little bit of chit chat with your students at the beginning, that'll also be recorded unless you pause it. So it's your choice whether you want it to record automatically when you start it or just remember to record the meeting if you're recording it for your students. As you can see here, the meeting has alternative hosts, and this is basically the list of other people that are lecturers on the module. So you can add or remove people from here, but they have to be lecturers that are on that specific module. And then when you're happy with your settings, you can click Save. And then if you wanted to, if it's the right time, you can click Start this meeting here, but I'll just show you what it looks like. If I click Zoom again, here you can see these are all the meetings that I set up. And I can click Start to start the first one. Obviously now these other ones are in the future, so I can't click Start on those yet. I can click Start on this one. And that's how I start the meeting. And it might prompt you if you're not already logged into Zoom on your computer, it might prompt you to log in as well, just to show you as well the experience for students. So I'm going to click the View as Student button here and then click the Zoom tab. You'll see when they go to the Zoom tab, they'll have an option to click Join, and then that's how they join the meeting as well. And that's how you do it. Just to show you as well how you would share the link with people that are outside of MTU, either students or guest speakers. Then leave student view. Then click in to the meeting here. You can see this is the join URL, so you can just copy that URL and then share that with them, and they should be able to join if they have a Zoom account. Okay, so now I'm going to move on and show you how you can schedule Zoom meetings outside of Canvas. So we'll move on to the next video for that. You might want to schedule a Zoom meeting outside of Canvas. Maybe you want to meet someone one-to-one and not share it with a Canvas module. Maybe you want to meet with another staff member. Maybe you're having a team meeting and you don't want to use Canvas for it. You can still schedule a Zoom meeting. And to do that, you go to telcit.zoom.us, the URL, and you can sign into Zoom from here. So I'm just going to click sign in to show you. And because I was already logged into Zoom via the client, it detected my login and logged me in. If you weren't, then you would be prompted to log in with your regular information that you use to log into Canvas and Outlook and other tools. Now, to create a meeting, you just click the Meetings tab here, and then you can click Schedule a Meeting. And then very similarly to the scheduling in Canvas, you can schedule your meeting in tel.cat.zoom.us. Say it's a once-off meeting, then you wouldn't select recurring meetings. So say you have a meeting next Tuesday at 9 a.m. with somebody, you can select that. And also say it's with an external person you're having a meeting with, you want them to be able to join. Again, you do all authenticated users. There's other options. So again, you can automatically record the meeting as well. And then when you're happy with all your settings, you just click save. Then similarly, like Canvas, you can just copy the invite link and share that with people. So that's how you set up a meeting outside of Canvas. Perfect. I'll move on to the next thing, which is admitting participants to a Zoom session. When you host a Zoom meeting with an MTU account, everybody that tries to join the meeting that isn't a host will first be put in a waiting room. Basically, what that means is they won't immediately be in the meeting with you. So if you're doing a little bit of prep and you're not ready to admit people to meeting yet, it won't automatically add them. But when you are ready to admit people to the meeting, you just click the participants icon and you'll see who's in the waiting room. And when you're ready, you can just click admit. And it could be that there are multiple people there and then there'll be an admit all button. And one thing to note as well is that people could join a bit later in the session. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on that in case someone joins or if they leave and join again due to internet connectivity issues or something like that. So then once you click admit, that person will then join the meeting and be part of the call. Perfect. I'll move on to the next thing, which is using Zoom chat. Zoom sessions have a chat feature where you can text chat with people in your session. So you could either chat with everybody, write to everyone, or you can write to people directly. And you just access that by clicking the chat icon here. And you'll see down here where it says to, you can either write something to everyone, where everyone can see, or you can write directly to different people that are in the meeting. So at the moment, it's just my test person that's in the meeting, so I can either write to that or everyone. And it's important when you're just writing on the chat that you keep an eye on this in case you accidentally send something to everyone or accidentally send it to just one person, or sometimes it might say hosts, and then you're accidentally sending it just to the hosts. Other features here that are worth looking at, so you can drag this up so you can get more of the text in there. You can change the format of the text. So you can bold words, italics, underline, strike through. You can change the colors and the size. You can add a link as well. So that's definitely handy if you want to send a link to students. So if I just type in, hi everyone, just type that again, hi everyone. You can see I can edit that text. I can also edit, there's just a couple of options with the sizing. And then they would have similar options on their side as well. And you can even do bullets and things like that. And then when you're ready to send it, you can either press enter on your keyboard or press this button here. You can also use emojis, so all the emojis that you'd expect. You can add a file, so if you want to share a file, you can do that. You can take a screenshot of your screen and then share that in the chat. So if you just click this screenshot button here, then you could take a screenshot of your screen, and you can draw on it if you want. And when you're ready, just click capture, and then you can send that into the chat. Perfect. I'll move on to the next video, which is screen sharing. If you want to share your screen in Zoom, all you have to do is click the share button down here, and then you'll have another number of options. So if you have two screens, you can choose between the two screens that you're going to share with participants in your Zoom meeting. Or if you just have one, then you can just share that one screen. You also have the option of just sharing a particular application. So say I have a PowerPoint here, I can just share the PowerPoint, or I can just share my web browser or whatever other application that I have open. Then you can choose from the different layouts. You could do content only or as background, that would have you at the front or over the shoulder. So you'd be in front with it behind or side by side with you.
One thing to note as well is if you're sharing your screen and you're going to play a video, say from YouTube or from your machine, you'll want to select share sound so that when you play a sound on your computer, then everybody in the meeting will also be able to hear the same sound. Um, and so then once you've clicked the thing that you want to share, you can click share. And then this is what all the participants in the meeting will be able to see. You can check what you're sharing just to make sure you're sharing what you want to by going to the bar here and clicking the little down button under screen sharing, and then it'll show you what is being shared with the participants in your meeting.
Okay, perfect. I think we're on to the final video now, which is how to record a Zoom session.
To record a Zoom session, you just need to click the record icon here at the bottom, and it will say record to the cloud. And basically what that means is it will record to the Zoom website. It won't record to your machine as a file. You'll be able to access it through the Zoom website. Or possibly if you scheduled the Zoom meeting through Canvas, it'll also be available on the Zoom tab in Canvas. So I'm just going to click record to the cloud. And now my session is recording. So everything that I'm saying is being recorded, and then that will be available on the cloud afterwards. If you have maybe a break or you want to stop recording for any reason, maybe a student is sharing something and they don't want it to be recorded and watched back, you can pause the recording at any time. And then you can just resume it again when you're ready. And you'll notice at the top right here, it says recording paused. So it's good to check the icon here to see if you're recording or not, so you don't forget, basically. So I'm going to resume recording, and I can see that it's recording here. And also participants in your meeting will also see that the session is being recorded. If you want to stop recording for the whole session, so you're not planning on recording again in the session, it'll be all in one clip. You can just click the stop recording icon there, and it'll say, are you sure you want to stop recording to the cloud? And you'll receive an email notification when the cloud recording is ready. This basically means that it'll take a little while for it to process, so it won't immediately be available in the cloud. So you just click yes there, and that's how you record.
Okay, perfect. So that's all of the videos that I'll be showing today, but I do want to share with you some supports. So for general support, you can go to our website, which is tel.cat.ie. And we also have a help guides website. I'm going to show you all of these in a moment. And you can also go to our YouTube channel, which has a lot of training on it. So I'm just going to switch what I'm sharing. 1 second. So if I just go into my share, and I'm going to share my other screen and share that. And now you should be able to see the websites I was talking about. So this is tel.cit.ie. So from here, you can get into different staff resources. You can go to our upcoming training. So if I click upcoming training here, it should load up and show me upcoming training. So this is the training we're doing right now. You could also sign up for training tomorrow, and then next week there'll be more training that you can sign up for. If I just go home again, you can click here for staff resources, and then click here and you can get to our help docs. So I did have a link in the slides about that, but you can also get to it from here. Same with our YouTube channel, and you can also email us for any help that you need by clicking this button here. I'll just show you what our help docs look like. So if I open that tab here, this is our help docs site, and it has basically help docs about everything that we cover. So Canvas and Zoom mainly, but other tools as well. So you can see there's a getting started section, and then there's a general Zoom section. So most of what I've covered and more, I would say, is covered on this website with these help documents. But if you prefer learning how to do things by video, you can go to our YouTube channel. So that's the Technology Enhanced Learning MTU YouTube channel. You'll see here we've got videos from January of this year, and then the videos are coming out of this first semester videos are coming. What I'd suggest people do if they're looking for training is to just click the playlists tab here, and that'll bring you to the different trainings as well. So we've got January 2025. There will be a September 2025 coming. We've just started this week, so we haven't made that yet. And then you can browse all the different things, and you can also search if there's something specific. So if I just type in Zoom, then everything with Zoom should come up. So we've got kind of older one about Zoom here. So maybe you would want to get a slightly newer one. So you could go to the Zoom new features one. And also after this video has been recorded and I've uploaded it, this video will come up on YouTube as well, and it'll be the latest one. Yeah, and that's about it. So I am just going to share back onto my slides again. So give me a second on that. There we go. So if anybody has any questions now, just going to wait on a minute. If you have any questions, I'll answer them. And I'll also follow up with any resources that I have once the video is ready as well. Okay, I don't think anyone has any questions, so I'm just going to finish up for today. So thank you for joining us today on this session about Zoom, and have a great day.